Moira used to be like good-ish into Tracer because like it was easy for her to like do enough damage to you to force you out on Tracer. But now Tracer just burns you so quickly because of DPS passive and you don't heal a lot that if you're not careful, like you will just die, right? Like you're probably noticing that Tracer tends to just melt you a lot faster now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so like you have to not play Moira like you used to. It's like you have to be much more aware of like I have to save orb to save myself, right? And look at what I was talking about before, right? 82% to 99%. They have Coal Rush now, and they're gonna probably win this fight off of it. Like this is the difference I was talking about, right? Like we need to be in the fights longer. And this Tracer's on you, you didn't have orb for a second. Like and someone's gonna die now that we're just getting cold, we're getting rushed on. It's just too much.
Like, do I just like spam?
No, this fight's just a lot. This is just a lost fight.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, if a tank is like critical, spam healing is the same thing as just holding it down.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, it's easier to just hold it down. Oh, this is bad. They're gonna rush on you and you don't have orb.
Surrender to my will.
So, Cole, you need to be grouped up, right, as a team. Like, this is bad from your team as well. Because you guys need to be, like, grouped so that you can hit the most people and get the most value out of it, right? Like, in theory, you should be hitting 9 people with Cole. Like, at its highest value. It's never really going to happen unless there's, like, 2 grabs going on. But generally, you want to hit most of your team with it and keep them alive and just push really fast with it, right? And then maybe beam some low health targets. But because your RAM is split from you like this is not a good Cole. You guys are just going to die. Like, even getting kills here doesn't mean anything, right? Because they traded, so you're just down, and they have point. And they have a tank, and you don't, and it's just bad. That's really ambitious. Sitting in... Okay, they don't have pulse. Generally, you have to be careful about your fade, right? Because if they do have pulse, you want to be aware. Well, it doesn't apply in this case, but just be aware of that in the future.
Yeah, they're always just...
Where'd you use your orb? Oh. Well, he was dead anyway. You are reaching him here. Yeah.
It does reach.
You can see, like, he actually is getting healed. But the problem is it's just so much damage at this point. He's playing in the Ram slow and he's getting beamed and he's just dying to the Moira.
Let's break it.
Not much you can do here, I think. This one's team gap.
As I have.
Team kill.
Definitely, we could have done a lot better, though. Now that we like understand a little bit more about how Moira plays, I'm gonna just quickly draw this graph one more time for the VOD. That's time. That's value. Moira plays fat, like she gets more value at the start of fights, and as your healing runs out, she gets less value. So you need to use your orb. So that instead of your graph looking like this, it looks more like this. That's just another quick recap for the recording.
Ready for battle.
So understanding how you use your orb, understanding how to sustain into their comp is going to be a little bit more useful, right?
2, 1.
Oh my god!
Oh no. Because we just went the other way.
Where is your team? What? Okay.
We said to do like open in the 1 point, so I went with Hurricane. But what?
I don't like that. I think you just play White Room.
Okay.
I think Spingar should not be this far forward. I don't think he wants to be this far pushed up. Does he have dash? He does have dash. He just gets blown up, I guess. But I think you just walk and you just fight for this, right? Like, it's Brawl comp. We just played a Brawl. Unless there's, like, a Junkrat. Like, we know it's Mirror in this case because it's we were given the fact that it's Mirror comp. Unless we know that it's not Mirror, and like, or like we like we should just default here. There's no reason not to. And then like if we see that they're on something like that, like oh Junkrat, we want to then swing out to point. There's no reason not to fight on this for this room. It's very valuable. It's very enclosed. It's very good space to control. So I think Ram should be not walking out to point here. This is gonna get Spingar killed. Watch how fast he dies too.
Your end is within my
Yeah, he just gets beamed. I think you being here is bad as well. This is like they're just gonna collapse on whoever they see. Like they're just gonna run at isolated targets. You're only stacking to reinforce your Ram. Your Lucio is next, right? Your Tracer is off flanking. Bad orb. Remember, you want to use damage or you want to use healing orb, especially again bad orb. You want to use it to sustain, right? Especially now that you're done Lucio. You throw another damage. Oh my god.
Yo, I didn't know at the time. I know now. I didn't know.
Okay, thank god. Okay, careful on your heals. Don't use them. No. Just don't let your Lucio build some of this healing. Get your resources back. This is fine because it's gonna recharge your healing a little bit, but then you just use it anyway. So.
Actually, no, that doesn't. I need healing back.
No, you have to use your healing orb because they're pushing now, and you need it to sustain your team. And then you can right-click while the healing orb is giving your team healing to get your healing back. And then once the healing orb runs out, then you have your left click to heal.
True.
And that was a bad fade, I think. Let's watch this back. Oh. You probably should have faded to your Ram. Like, your Ram can help you sustain into this a little bit better. Like, this is an interesting fight. It's 2v2. You could actually even slide, like, go over here and reinforce Spingar here and get this kill, right? Because you can just burn through deflect. And then you're up one, and then you can turn to point with your Ram. Or you can fade to your Ram, and he can help you sustain this dive. Or this rush. And your Tracer is here to maybe help, like, ward off their Tracer. And now you're 3v2, right? Or 3v3 if this Moira has fade, which I don't think she does. She does not. Fading to, like, here is just really bad. When you are trying to kite something, when you are kiting, you need to think about where can I actually go where people can help me, right? Like, in this comp, that is. Not always, right? Because if you're just, like, playing, like, a Moira in, like, something like Numbani third and, like, your team's all the way up and, like, there's a Tracer in the back line, you might want to just go somewhere else, not necessarily to your team. But, like, if you're playing in this comp on this map, you need to reinforce a position with your team, right? Like, if you're getting jumped on by a Tracer and a Ram, you need to, like, find somewhere where you can stack with your team so that they can help you absorb and survive. Either option would have been okay, but neither option is bad.
Wait, what? Robin? I wasn't looking.
Gia's deaths.
Oh.
That's a little high. Oh, actually, that's not as bad. Could have been worse. That's still pretty high, but... I think leaving your Ram to die here is bad. What could we have done?
How do I help
differently?
him if he's that far in?
We could have matched Cole. if we like want to fight this, which he clearly does because he's close to Ramel. We could have matched Cole and walked in with it. I actually don't know why our team was so far back compared to him. Are we down? Like, where's our fourth? Where's our fifth man? Oh, he's all the way over here. Okay.
I think
Yeah, we
just
can
got,
fight
like,
this. There's no reason
we
not
just got
to.
warded off and we got scared.
You can, yeah, but I don't know why we got scared. Is it because there's a ram in the front line?
Probably.
Okay, well, he
I
shouldn't
mean, it
be
scared
this far
me.
forward.
I ran off.
But if you have Cole, it's pretty hard for the ram to kill you without DPS passive, and the tracer, like, oh, I guess the tracer can shoot you. But I think you can Cole this and be fine. Like, you stack on your ram, like, your team walks in, and maybe you can collapse on this ram, if anything, right? If you're gonna lose your ram, maybe you can trade it out, or you can force out this tracer, and Tweener can come, like, pinch this guy out. Or, like, we can make some kind of play, but sitting in spawn and waiting for your ram to die is just not a good idea. Because, like, what do we achieve here, right? Now we're down one, and now we're just gonna lose.
A taste of poison.
You saw me, I was like,
It's like, oh.
it hit the little pole.
What is it now?
Wait, did it actually hit this?
Yeah, it hit that.
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
Look. I literally was like, huh?
A taste of poison. Surrender to my
No,
will.
you want to throw healing orbs. Damage orb really isn't that good. That's a good beat. Spingar didn't get it, so careful. Care Spingar. You got Mega. Okay, see, like, here's a good situation where you just need to kite and, like, you can't stack with your team, right? That's one of, like, those situations I was talking about before where, like, you don't want to be with your team because of the Ramble. This fight actually looks pretty good, right? Because we used our cooldowns for the most part correctly. Then look at, like, your healing at the end of the fight, right? So this is, like, when instead of having that, like, you're actually able to sustain for most of it and get enough value over time. So this is good. Conscientious use of the orb and, like, in managing your resources closely is what's gonna make, like, a good Moira from the bad Moira.
Misery made manifest.
If, like, I wouldn't feel too bad about this guy just out healing, out damaging you. This guy, one, his team is staying alive more, and two, he was rank 14, so. That orb is fine, because you should have it back before engage. Don't waste heals. If I don't think.
I thought they were getting ganged on.
Well, they kind of are. Where's Spingar?
So I threw one in there so then I could help Hurricane, but they could use the orb.
I guess, but like, I think orb is more useful for your tank. Pay attention to your tank. Like, if you look away from this motherfucker for 1 second, DPS passive means he dies. Like, you have to be very aware.
Receive my aid.
Turning up the heat.
Let your Lucio get this healing. You have Cole, and then you don't have, like, you can recharge this a little bit.
Gotta go quick.
Big stanger louser.
If a Genji's smart, he just deflects that, yeah. Let your healing recharge.
I'm playing like Battle over. I need it to be 100%.
You really need, like, so, like, the point I was making with this graph is, like, you want to be here at the start of fights, but the way that you're playing it right now is, like, you're here at the start of fights, right? Because you just don't have any healing. So you need to be more aware of, like, okay, well, my healing should be at 100%. Like, let's say this is your healing over time. It should look like this, right? Because you start with full healing, then you let it get pretty low, and then you throw a healing orb, ho, right here. And then by the time, like you get some damage in, you start damaging. Like, damage. then at this point you're gonna have healing again, right? So like that. This is how the flow chart from Moira works. You start with full healing. You don't start with half healing, otherwise you're already at a disadvantage. You throw orb as your team walks in. You use your healing to sustain whatever initial cooldowns they might be throwing out. Then you use your healing orb, and then you do some damage as we walk with the orb. And then once we have your healing again, then you can just like kind of still cycle this, right? Like this can go like this, like over time, because you just like the longer the fight takes, the more healing you can get if you just use your cooldowns correctly, assuming that your team doesn't just get wiped to DPS passive, right?
Surrender to my will.
You should have thrown orb first.
Yeah, I don't think I did that like that.
It's just free value. It's like, you know, like at the start of like a, well, maybe you don't know this, but at like the start of a far ult, you throw one rocket as you press Q, so you can get that initial burst. And then,
Holy
okay.
shit.
Surrender to my
I
will.
didn't know that.
There's a lot of little things like this.
No, I remember screaming.
I remember that.
The
I was
wrong
there
one.
for that, yeah. Careful your round. We lose this, I think, yeah. Go orb rear him. We can trade the ram now.
Oh, no, we do win this.
We don't win it, but we. Oh, you threw wrong orb. You needed to healing orb yourself to sustain through this. You don't throw damage orb in these kind of fights. You want to live. You can get your damage in other ways. You just need to live and play for sustain, right? This was the wrong call. I thought that pulse killed him. I was gonna say that was pretty far. We should have realized that this fight like was just gonna get drawn out. We should have said, okay, we'll take one more clean fight. They only have blade. We can maybe sustain through it. We should have just waited for our team and then just taken 5v5. Maybe built Cole. I don't know. Maybe look for Cole in the mid to end fight. Moira's one. Oh, were you just getting bladed here? What could you have done differently? Oh, you used your fade. Yeah, we just walked into like a bad situation where we were already down. It might just not be winnable. No way. 99 Cole. If we had just played a little bit safer. Spingar's trying to show off his 100% deadlift on Lijiang. Really? Interesting. Okay.
Wait, what?
He actually did have 100% on this map. Yeah, look at him go. That's crazy.
Score. We cannot tolerate anyone missing decks. I require assistance.
Careful, careful. Wrong orb. Your team wants to fight this. Now you need to look for damage to get your get your healing back. Your Ram can sustain through this because he's in form and can block. But now you have no healing and now you're just gonna die, right? What I'm seeing here is you just don't know how to play Moira.
I don't. I'm telling you guys, this is literally the first time I've
Yeah,
played
because
Moira.
Moira's not been meta in like years, right? Like it's
I
been
just never liked playing her in
quite a-
general. Like,
Yeah,
at
neither
all.
did I actually. But like, let's see. Where's my profile?
The
This is
only
me in
hours
ranked
I
now.
ever had. Yeah,
So
now
I
that I
have
know more. I'm
I have
down.
2 hours on Moira this season. You want to see something crazy? Where even is Moira?
Check mine.
4 hours.
All
Half of my
modes.
Moira playtime has come from this season. Ooh. But yeah, I don't put time into that character. Like I just in the past 1,400 hours in 7 years of playing Overwatch, I've played 14 hours of Moira. Like I trust me, I understand.
No, me too. Check mine. Mine's 14 too.
Is it actually?
Yeah, and I
That's
guarantee you,
funny.
half of like most of that time is because I played like Mystery Heroes or some shit.
Oh yeah,
I
that's. I
guarantee.
think that's where a lot of mine comes from too. Just playing quick play or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to play more. You got to play more Moira.
Yeah.
Create a Moira only account or something. I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
Just become the terrorist. She's just so strong right now. It's just like we need to learn how to play her. The reason why is that I could have just given people saying, okay, well, let's just play Bat Mirror, right? But this is the comp that's getting value. Like, this is the comp that's being played. So I want us to play this. Throw Orb before Cole. Get that into your head. That's so, like, free value. It's literally just free. And you know how long Cole lasts?
8 seconds?
About 10.
Surrender to my will.
Oh, it's closer to 8, yeah.
I'm
Okay.
crazy.
Okay, you want to know what Orb cooldown is?
No. 8.
9 seconds. If you use Cole, throw an Orb, use Cole, your Cole ends, you have Orb in 1 second. That's 2 orbs for the price of 1. That's a buy one, get one free. It is just free value that we're just leaving on the table. -1 ram. -1 tracer. I remember he wasn't excited. He wasn't happy about using Blade here. I think it was necessary.
Yeah,
I think you don't win the fight otherwise. To be honest,
I think it was
I think it was good. You can throw a healing orb for your ram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right click the ram, get some healing back. Let your ram sustain. Because now you have no healing and they're just gonna walk, right? Like now this is really bad. Like if Moira goes into a fight with 0 healing, you just lose. Like you need to be micromanaging your resources much better.
Such grievous moves.
Do you want to know why you lose this fight?
Because I had no healing.
Yep. You could have played faster and take more advantage, but because you have no resources, you're forced onto the back foot, and then they pop ults and they surround you and you lose. This is directly because of you, not because of your team, right? There are things that we can do to increase our value, but by doing that, we increase our team's value, right? So if you are not getting your value as Moira, it's hard for your team to find value on their own. And then this becomes a problem, right? Like, oh, okay, well, we're going into a fight with 0 healing, and how do we sustain if they're just gonna Cole us, right? Like, you're close enough to Cole where if you had correct healing, you'd get it mid-fight, they pop Cole, you pop Cole, and now your team's even, right? And you have points, so an even fight's fine if you can draw it out. Or maybe you pop Cole first, and then your Tracer looks for Pulse, and then our Tracer, and then their Tracer looks for Pulse, and then so on and so forth. We just try and build ults, we just take it like a heavy fight, whatever. Moira should be getting Cole like every fucking fight. It's really easy to get Cole very quickly, right? Like, look at their Moira versus you. They're almost doubling your ult usage. And the healing's pretty matched. I want to compare your stats to their Moira, right? Like, you guys had the same amount of deaths, but they had more damage by a lot because they're able to sustain with the heal orb and just look for damage in mid fights. You have slightly more healing, but it's extremely close. And they also received a little bit more healing because they're using heal orb to keep themselves alive,
Yeah.
right? So you see the difference, right? Like why they're able to get more ults per like more ults used over time.
Mhm.
I'm surprised you get another 2 ults in 2 minutes. Well, I guess you
Yeah.
have this one coming up, then it's 5 to 7. They get another one, and then you get another one. Okay, it makes sense, I guess. Yeah, that's enough time. But yeah, like you definitely want to be playing your orbs a bit better. This is fine, I guess, for just sustaining. Careful. Okay, look for healing orb. Walk in as a team. Look for orb first. You're dead here. Your fade like movement needs a little work. You need to practice the more
Enhancing your vitals.
Yeah,
Take
we- I wish I could have done this before.
I understand because it's like because of college you don't have as much time, but you gotta find the time. It's hard, I know.
Lending a hand.
Well, spring break, so
Oh, nice. Wait, spring break or just like February break?
spring break. Like this next week is completely no school.
Damn, your spring break's early as fuck.
I know. I didn't.
Ours
know
isn't
it
for
was
another
this early
month.
Either. It's usually like in March, maybe April.
Yeah, ours is in late March, like first week of April, I think. See, like your Ram is able to sustain with block, right? He doesn't take a lot of damage during block, so you're able to get your healing back just by damaging, right? This is risky. Throw an orb, get your healing back. Fade, 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 fade. So like this is much better played, right? We do win this, I think. Get his ass.
More swimmers in the deep end of the depths. Surrender to my will.
Yes.
That's where the other one came from.
Okay, this was much better played at the end, I think. Much better played. I think just overall you need to be more aware of like just how to play the character. Time to just practice.
Yeah. If you look at like the last map we played, I played it better.
We can look
I
at it
got
quick.
a hand. I think I got a hand of it towards the end. It's like
Well, I
I
wanna look at like
see,
one or two
that's
fights. We'll take a very brief look before I
a
have to
gander.
work with Daniel. Busan? Or was it Busan?
No,
that you wanted
Busan
to
we
look at?
didn't
Or-
play.
We did. We played it
Esperanza
on.
we played.
We played it on the first
Oh
part.
yeah, we did it on Sanctuary, you're right.
We'll take like
Sanctuary
one
wasn't
fight.
that good.
Yeah, I mean Busan wasn't that good. We did win, but alright, let's look at like the first 2 fights. This is with JQ, so it actually plays a little differently.
A taste of poison.
Because JQ has her shout to sustain, so it's like slightly different. Orb, okay.
Past me would have thrown a damage.
Yeah. In the 2 hours that we played, you started to figure it out. I see.
Go, G. Time to cook.
Now you have full healing, so now you go next into the fight with like full healing. Let's see the next fight.
Let us proceed.
I don't hate that. That's fine, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we were like,
Yeah, and you have enough healing, so it doesn't matter.
For the parched.
Unassailable prowess.
Good orb. Yeah, okay. You did start to figure it out a little bit more.
yes.
That's good. We'll definitely have to. So I'm going to probably watch you closely again next time we scrim, which is Sunday, and see like how much you can improve just from like in between scrims, just by thinking more on the Moira, right?
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's getting better. You just gotta keep practicing. Just keep playing Moira. We'll keep playing Moira comps. Like I think the Ram Moira comp is actually very, very good. We're gonna play it a lot more.
Mhm.
So yeah. Any last questions?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.